and welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry it's been so long since I posted anything, but my camera was just gross and my laptop just didn't want to play. But I've got a new camera now, so hopefully you will be seeing more content on this channel as the new year rolls in. So this is a video about what 2020 taught me. Holy heck, it's been a crazy year. From coronavirus to breakups to sexuality to finishing a degree. Like, it's been insane. Yeah, I don't really want to say that I think I'm glad to see the end of it, because I think that's kind of the wrong way to look at it. It's been a crazy year. Yes, we all want our lives back and we just want to hug people and see people again and go to a nightclub again. But I think, you know, we've all learned something this year, quite a lot actually. So this is what I've learned. First things first, self-worth is everything. I did not realise how important it was to love yourself and realise how amazing you are and how different you are and how that's a beautiful thing. For so long, it took a breakup for me to realise that actually I am a queen and I am worth so much more than what I was getting, essentially. And yeah, self-worth is everything. Coming like back off from like the breakup thing that happened in March, from then to now, like sexuality has been like a huge thing. I was actually, and I said I was going to do a video on sexuality, and I actually got ready to film it and do it like yesterday or the day before, but I sat down to do it and was like, I don't know what I am. I can't film this authentically because I actually still am not sure what's going on. Like, I at the moment identify as pansexual, and that just means that I like everybody. It doesn't matter what gender you are, it doesn't matter what you identify as. If I like you and I want to be with you, I will be with you, if it's reciprocated. I guess I don't really know, because I've been toying with the idea of maybe I'm genderqueer and stuff like that. I mean, I'm still on a journey with it all, so when I know, I'll let you all know. I was gonna film something to do with my sexuality, like explaining what pansexual was, but I just can't do that yet because I'm still not really sure. So 2021, you will see a sexuality video, I promise. I'll try and have it figured out by then. Another thing I've learned is that community and like people and family are everything. Like, from the NHS clap to your neighbours like going to get you stuff at the beginning of lockdown if you couldn't leave the house. Like, people are amazing. Like, just take a minute, like just stop for a sec, take a minute and actually just appreciate that humankind is actually amazing. And I know the pessimists out there, you're gonna be going, oh yeah, but there's also people breaking their rules and being, which is fair enough. I totally see that side of it. But let's just for a minute think about it optimistically and actually go, yeah, people are pretty great. I think another thing I've learned is adapting to change, which I hate. I hate change, but obviously this year we've not been able to avoid it. So I think adapting to change and embracing things that you've always wanted to do but you've never been able to. So for example, like, I've started streaming video games online on Twitch. If you didn't already know about it, I talk about it all the time. And that is something I would never have had the time to do if it wasn't for lockdown and, unfortunately, COVID. I wouldn't have ever gone down that route. I wouldn't have ever discovered this thing that I absolutely love to do. And that is all because I adapted to change. And I'm so grateful for it, because now I've got a whole new platform and community of people that I've got to know, and I'm so grateful for that. I think gratitude is like a massive thing in this whole thing. What? I think that being grateful for things is really important. You've kind of just got to stop for a minute and realise what's going on and just try and pick out the little bits that you're grateful for. If you are like in a bad place with all of this and you've had a genuinely really crappy time, then just take a second to think, is there anything I'm grateful for? Is there anything that I have done that I would never have had the time to do? If there is, tell me what they are, because I'd love to know. Like I say, mine's been Twitch and streaming so many video games. I've played so many video games, it's so bad. Look, we all know that I'm a positive Polly, right? But not all the time, and I understand that this has actually been like a really traumatic year. Really traumatic, some more than others, but everyone has felt, I'm sure, really gross during this time, like lonely and just not very nice. And it's okay to feel like that. You're in a global pandemic. Like, that's crazy. It's okay to feel overwhelmed. It's okay to feel sad. Don't think that you can't just stop for a second and actually just spend a day in bed because you really need to recharge. I think it hit really hard in the first lockdown that everyone was doing new stuff, like learning new languages and doing lots of exercise and stuff like that. And I think it was a bit almost like we have to do loads of stuff because we have loads of time. That's not the case. If you want to just coast through this and just survive, that's okay too. You're doing great. You do you, boo. Just enjoying this time off. Like, just stop for a second and think, am I ever gonna have had this much time off in my life, ever? Probably not. So try not to feel too angry at it, I guess. That's kind of how I've turned it around. I've gone, I'm not angry at this anymore because I can't. I mean, there's no point. It's not going to change anything. It's okay to feel angry, but it's not going to change anything right now. So look at me. I'm on my hollybobs. Another thing I learned this year was I learned what gaslighting is. Which is crazy. I had no idea what it was. And I'm very glad that now I do know what it is. And I think it's very important to look at horrible experiences and try and think about them as a lesson in some kind of way. Because now I know what gaslighting is. Now I know what control feels like being put upon me. Don't ever let anyone control you or gaslight you. If you don't know what gaslighting is, Google it, because I would love to sit here and explain, but that's a whole new video in itself. Just don't let it happen. Doesn't matter how much someone means to you, whether it's a friend, a partner, a family member, anyone, do not let them control you. Because this year has shown us all that life is mental and it's too short and anything could happen at any moment. So if you're not being your most authentic self and you're being controlled by someone and you're not happy in that, I mean, anything could happen tomorrow. You can't live your life like that. It's not cool on you, it's not fair on you. You are worth so much more, self-worth, than someone controlling you. And when you learn it, notice the warning signs. It's funny because now I think I've got a bit of a guard up. I will never let anyone control me or gaslight me, anything ever again. But now I'm like super protective and I've got my guard up a little bit. And if anything happens that's anything relative to a warning sign, I'm like, whoa, no. Obviously, this hasn't just been a tricky year for COVID. We've also had a lot going on in terms of the Black Lives Matter movement. Yeah. Wow. I don't know how much I feel like I can talk about this because I am a white woman of privilege, and so I don't really know how much I can say on it without sounding unauthentic. I just want to say, don't forget about it. Don't stop being angry. Don't stop sharing and researching. It doesn't stop. And like I say, I find this really hard to talk about because that sounds hilarious because I'm like, oh, woe is me. But what I mean is I find it hard to talk about and sound authentic when I am a white woman. I think I fear that people think I'm not being authentic and, you know, whatever. But I fully support the Black Lives Matter movement, and I think that everyone needs to continue being angry and not just forgetting. It wasn't just a thing that happened during lockdown, it's still happening. So keep on sharing, keep on doing your bit. Yeah. And that goes for any kind of activism, really. I mean, against anyone who is facing any sort of prejudice or like attack for who they are. Just fight for people. Fight for people, good people. Fight for the good people. Be on the good people's side. Be a goodie, not a baddie. And don't forget that it's always happening. There's always something going on. There's always a cause to support. So just keep being a little warrior. I think with anything like that, it's about educating yourself and supporting causes. If you can support with money, great. That's amazing. Do it, because it's a cause that needs it and it's a cause that is important. Just educate your damn self, okay? Also, I'd just like to say that I'm not sat here saying that I am perfect or that I've donated my life funds to charities that need it, but I'm just saying, if you can educate yourself, amazing. Just do what you can and learn and learn and learn and learn and don't stop learning. If you can go that extra mile and donate money to charities and causes that really need it, then that's amazing. I'm not saying that I'm perfect at all. This is just my advice. Yeah. Also, I have a degree now. I'm graduated from university, which is just mental, and I'm really sad about it because I miss it. And I'm really excited about our industry and going back into it, but it is quite, yeah, it's quite not really there right now. But I have a degree. Anything is possible. Like, I completed a degree in lockdown this year. A dyslexic girl did a dissertation in lockdown this year. So yeah, anything is possible. Just keep going, you've got this. Promise. And I think the last thing to say that I learned this year is that we take everything for granted. Like everything. I will never take for granted a night out. Ever again. Ever again. All I want to do is get a little bit glammed up and go out to a nightclub and boogie with my best friends. That's all I want. Ever. In the world. I obviously want COVID to be gone and people to be safe, but you know what I mean. We take everything for granted. Like, the beginning of lockdown, toilet paper. We all took toilet paper for granted, didn't we? And it all sold out and no one had any toilet paper. Toilet paper. I just think, and I've always thought this, for the past few years, since losing someone from our university, Laura, it just showed me how short life is, and that you just got to embrace everything and every moment, and you've got to, it sounds so corny and so cheesy, but you've got to live every day as it's your last, because life is actually too short. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow. Like, look at us, a year and a half ago, would we have all thought that we were in a global pandemic and that we wouldn't be able to do lots of stuff, like see our families at Christmas and go out to pubs and restaurants and stuff and go on holiday? It all sounds quite materialistic, but it's the little things that we do take for granted. Yeah. Wow. So I guess what I'm trying to say with that is, let's stop taking things for granted. In the new year, let's just try and be a bit more grateful for everything, even the little things. Just waking up in the morning, I am grateful for that. New Year's resolutions, in short, I don't have any, because I haven't made any for years, because I don't really think that it's healthy. For some people it really works, but I don't want to set myself a goal and then be like really hard on myself. Like the whole diet industry culture. Over the next few weeks it's going to be like chaos with that, and it's just so unhealthy. I haven't got any New Year's resolutions, but if you've got any, I'd love to hear them. I would love to hear them. I think it works for some people, just maybe not for me. 2020. What a year, hey? But we're moving on. We're going into a new year. It's gonna be magic. It's probably still gonna be a bit hard. Things aren't quite gonna be back to normal still, but we've got this. We're gonna adapt to change. We're gonna be grateful. We're gonna learn to love our damn selves. And we're just gonna have a lovely time together as a community. Yeah. We've got this. We can do this. Happy New Year. Goodbye 2020. I hope you all have a wonderful evening doing and celebrating in the best way that you can. Sending you all my love in the whole wide world. 2020. Peace out. Also, if you like this video, feel free to like it, share it, comment. Is that what everyone says? Is that all the things I need to say? I don't know. But feel free to do that, because that helps people out. Okay, I'm really going now. I love you. Bye-bye. Is that even a word? Don't know. Disease or causes that could really help. Wait. Almost like we had to do lots of stuff because we have to. What? Oh my god, was that my stomach? What the hell?